evening, viewers. Thank you for tuning into Dalsan TV English News. I'm Ifrah Noor and I'll be your anchor for tonight's bulletin. We have some significant stories from Somalia and the region that you don't want to miss. So let's dive right into the headlines. President Mahmoud meets Qatar's Emir to bolster bilateral relations. Hirshabelle state leader arrives in Garowe for President Deni's inauguration. Somali and US forces eliminate 4 Al-Shabaab members in Kismayo. President Mahmoud discusses security and political situation with predecessor in Doha. And finally, Russian missile fragments strike homes near Ukraine's capital, Kiev. Welcome back, dear viewers. Now let's get right into the full bulletin. Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has on Tuesday held a meeting with the Emir of Qatar, His Excellency Tamim bin Hamad. The meeting in Qatar's capital, Doha, discussed various issues including strengthening the existing bilateral relations between the two brotherly countries and issues of mutual interest to both sides.
Somalia President Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud has on Tuesday held a meeting with the Emir of Qatar, His Excellency Tamim bin Hamad. The meeting in Qatar's capital of Doha discussed various issues including strengthening the existing bilateral relations between the two brotherly countries and issues of mutual interest to both sides. The two officials also deliberated on bolstering the Qatar support to Somalia primarily in the security and economic sectors. Dr. Hassan Sheikh Mohamud later attended the graduation ceremony of the 11th batch of the cadets of Al-Zaim Mohammed bin Abdullahi Al-Attiyah Air Academy, where Somali Air Force officials graduated alongside Qatar and Jordanian officials. The ceremony was also attended by a number of leaders of security, military and university colleges, institutes and academies, high-ranking officials of sisterly and friendly countries, senior officers of the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Interior, the Amiri Guard. The Amiri Air Force participated in the air show with F-15 Rafale and Typhoon along with transport aircraft C-17 and C-130 and the Apache NH-90 Augusta helicopters. At the end of the ceremony, officers of the 11th batch took the oath and recited the academy anthem.
Hirshabelle State President Ali Abdullahi Gudlawe and his accompanying delegation has on Tuesday arrived in Garowe, the administrative capital of Puntland State. Upon his arrival at the General Mohammed Abshir Airport, the Hirshabelle state leader was warmly received by his Puntland counterpart Saeed Abdullahi Deni, flanked by council ministers, members of the regional parliament, senior government officials and members of the public.
Hirshabelle State President Ali Abdullahi Gudlawe and his accompanying delegation has arrived in Garowe, the administrative capital of Puntland State of Somalia. Upon his arrival at the General Abshir Airport, the Hirshabelle state leader was warmly received by Puntland counterpart Saeed Abdullahi Deni, flanked by council ministers, members of the regional parliament, senior government officials and members of the public. Gudlawe is among dignitaries who are slated to attend the upcoming inauguration ceremony of the President Saeed Abdullahi, who won re-election recently. The Hirshabelle state leader once again congratulated Deni for his re-election.
iyo dadka kale ee laabta ka jecel madaxweynaha iyo mas'uuliyiinta kale ee Puntland ee la doortay iyo kuwa nagala qayb galaya dhinaca warbaahinta si gaar ah waxaan u mahadcelinayaa warbaahinta Soomaaliyeed ee kala duwan ee halkan ku sugan ee tebinaya calaamasaarka kuwa u yimi inay tebiyaan iyo kuwa hore uga shaqeynayay ilaa ay xilliga doorashada waa mahadsantiin maalmaha soo socdana waxaan rajaynaynaa inaan si wada shaqeyno guuleysta.
The inauguration ceremony is scheduled to take place on Thursday this week. Former and current Somali leaders are also expected to arrive in the Somali state in the coming days for the ceremony. President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud is among leaders who are expected to grace this auspicious occasion, signifying unity and collaboration among the federal and state levels of government.
Somali National Army, in collaboration with the US Forces Command, on Monday killed 4 Al-Shabaab insurgents after a successive operation which was carried out at about 45 kilometers northeast of Kismayo town, the administrative capital of Jubaland Regional State.
The Somali National Army, in collaboration with the US Forces on Monday, killed 4 Al-Shabaab insurgents after a successful operation which was carried out at about 45 kilometers northeast of Kismayo town, the administrative capital of Jubaland Regional State. According to a statement from the Somali Ministry of Information, the earmarked militants were regrouping and reorganizing themselves in the area during the operation. The ministry further clarified that there were civilian casualties recorded during the operation. Al-Shabaab has a large presence in Jubaland regional state, where they coordinate their attacks from across the country. The group has in recent days been encountering significant losses in terms of personnel and territory, following heightened military operations across the Horn of Africa nation, especially in central and southern parts. The killing of the 4 militants comes barely 2 days after the Somali National Army, backed by international partners, killed 7 Al-Shabaab militants on Friday, following massive operations which were conducted at Fido area close to Mahadai district in Middle Shabelle in southern Somalia. Since 2006, the rebels have been trying to topple and destabilize Somalia's central government and establish rules based on its strict interpretation of Islamic law. The outlawed terror outfit, despite suffering huge setbacks on the front lines, has increased its attacks across the country. President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud declared an all-out war against the Al-Qaeda-affiliated group when he came into power in May of 2022.
Somalia President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, who is on a working visit to Qatar, has on Monday held meeting with the former Somali President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo in Doha.
Somali President Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud, who is on a working visit to Qatar, has on Monday held a meeting with former Somali President Mohamed Abdullahi Farmajo in Doha. They discussed a range of issues bedeviling the country, including the country's security and the humanitarian situation unfolding on the ground. President Mahmoud briefed his predecessor on the current ongoing military operations against the Al-Shabaab militant group, which has gained weight across the country. They also discussed the importance of the recent achievements made by the country, primarily in the lifting of the decades-long arms embargo and debt relief. Farmajo applauded Mahmoud for his relentlessness to getting rid of Al-Shabaab from the country and the recent accomplishments achieved by Somalia in different areas, including joining the East African Community Bloc. They both underscored the importance of future cooperation between the current and former leaders in a bid to ensure the country makes strides in economic and national development and for the benefit of the Somali people, who are reeling from decades of civil war and insurgency.
That is all we have prepared for you, dear viewers. Kindly stay connected to Dalsan TV platforms and we wish you a lovely evening.